Beloved chosen ones, something in the spirit realm has just shifted over your life, and if you're here right now, it is not an accident. Welcome, family. This is a divine interruption, a holy pause in your timeline where heaven leans in and whispers, "This is your third day." You haven't just been waiting, you've been buried in delays, in unseen warfare, in heartbreak that only God witnessed, in a wilderness that felt endless. Yet even in the shadows, oil has been forming on your life, an anointing pressed out in the crushing. The doors that refused to open, the cycles that kept repeating, the heaviness in your spirit, heaven is announcing a shift. This is the threshold. Old patterns are breaking, new gates are opening. What tried to bury you is about to become the stage where God proves His power through you. You are not just surviving this season, you are being commissioned by it. You are the evidence, the living prophecy, the sign that resurrection is real. If your spirit is stirring, I want you to comment 777 as a prophetic act of faith, like super thank, and subscribe not as a technical action, but as your yes in the spirit. Stay with me until the end, because there is a specific sign I'm going to reveal that will confirm whether this word is truly for you. Rise, chosen one, your third day starts now. God's chosen ones, you've been buried 3 days now, it's time to rise. You, chosen one. Have you ever felt like your life quietly slipped into a tomb season where the world kept moving but something inside you went still, buried under disappointments, delays, and silent tears only heaven saw? Maybe you kept showing up, smiling, working, serving, yet deep in your spirit it felt like a stone had been rolled across the entrance of your heart. You weren't just tired, you were buried, hidden, placed in a dark, silent room between who you used to be and who you're called to become. And still, even there, something holy was moving over you in the dark. Even the darkness will not be dark to you. Psalm 139:12. This isn't just a verse on paper, it is the unseen reality wrapped around your nights. You, chosen one. Think about the moments no one applauded, no one understood, no one even noticed you were breaking. The unanswered prayers, the closed doors, the promises that seemed to move further away the more you chased them. A relationship you thought was forever suddenly crumbled. A dream you believed God had given you seemed to fall apart in your hands. You asked yourself quietly, so no one else would hear, if I was really chosen. Why does my life feel like this? Yet, under the soil of all that loss, a seed was splitting open. What looks like breaking is often the first movement of new life. What if the season you called punishment was actually preparation? There is a mystery in how heaven works, slow, hidden, and yet perfectly timed. Think of Mary Magdalene standing at an empty tomb, weeping in the early light, only to hear her name spoken by the risen Christ. In a moment, what felt like the end of everything became the beginning of a new world. That same pattern, that same holy reversal is secretly woven into your story. While you were buried under the weight of waiting, heaven was rewriting the script of your destiny. Long before you saw any proof, the author of your life was already turning the page. You, chosen one. Your 3 days may have felt like 3 years or even 3 decades, but in the language of eternity, they are still just a doorway. Rumi once wrote, "Where there is ruin, there is hope for a treasure." What if the ruins you're staring at aren't proof that God abandoned you, but proof that He is about to build something that could never fit inside your old life? In the hidden hours, He's been rearranging the interior of your soul, pruning what cannot go with you into the next season. Every unanswered text, every closed opportunity, every lonely night has been a chisel in the hands of the sculptor. And somewhere deep within your spirit already knows you are not the same person who first walked into this wilderness. Your questions have become deeper. Your compassion has become sharper. Your discernment has become quieter but stronger. Nothing was wasted. A philosopher once said, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." Heaven has been deepening your why. That's why the how has felt so intense. Chosen one, you are being prepared to carry more than comfort. You are being prepared to carry glory. Look at the world around you. How many stories of resurrection are hidden in plain sight? Think of a woman lying in a hospital bed, told her body will never fully heal yet. Years later, she walks again, starting a foundation to help others who were written off by doctors. Her pain became a bridge for healing that thousands could walk across. Or a young man who lost his business, his reputation, and almost his mind, only to rebuild from nothing and later stand on stages telling people, "Losing everything was the door to finding who I truly am." These are not just motivational tales, they echo a spiritual law. Death is not the end for those who are chosen to carry resurrection. Deep inside, your spirit has been rehearsing resurrection even while your mind was grieving. Einstein once said, "The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious." What if the confusing, mysterious gaps in your story are actually the most beautiful parts? Because that's where heaven has left fingerprints you haven't recognized yet. In the unseen realm, heaven has been aligning details, connections, timings in ways your logic could never calculate. The delay is not denial, it is divine choreography. You, chosen one, there is a higher pattern unfolding even in the chaos. Imagine 3 young exiles standing in a furnace fire 7 times hotter than normal. Yet instead of burning, they walk around with a 4th figure in the flames, Daniel 3. That story is not just about heat, it is about companionship in the impossible. You too have walked through fires that should have destroyed you, yet somehow you're still here. Why? Because somebody stood in the flames with you. Could it be that the grave you're lying in was never meant for your death, but for your transformation? Sometimes heaven allows what you thought you needed to die, so what you were truly born for can finally breathe. You felt warfare in your mind, heaviness in your chest, a strange resistance pushing back against you every time you take a step toward destiny. But that resistance is not random. It's recognition. The darkness has seen what you carry even when you haven't. All things work together for good to those who love God, who are called according to His purpose. Romans 8:28 is not a soft phrase for greeting cards, it is a spiritual equation that refuses to break when your circumstances do. You, chosen one. Heaven has been calculating your comeback long before you calculated your losses. Your tears have been data, your prayers have been coordinates, your surrender has been a key, and yes, your failures have been raw material for miracles. In the realm of the Spirit, nothing surrendered is ever wasted. Let your heart walk for a moment into a story beyond religion, beyond labels. Picture a girl in a crowded, futuristic city surrounded by neon signs and digital noise, who one night begins to see repeating numbers, strange dreams and encounters with strangers, who all say the same sentence to her: "You were never meant to stay hidden." At first she thinks it's a glitch, a coincidence, but slowly she realizes the whole fabric of her reality is bending to push her into purpose. That fictional girl is a mirror of you. Heaven has been sending you subtle confirmations, phrases that hit too deep, songs that come at the perfect moment, random videos that speak exactly to what you just thought. You are not crazy, you are being called. Here is a sacred inner truth. Your spirit already knows the path. It is your fear that is catching up. The question is no longer whether you are chosen. The question is, will you agree with heaven's verdict over your life? You chosen one. There is a controversial truth many people avoid because it demands responsibility. Staying buried is now a choice, not your fate. That sounds harsh, but it is also deeply freeing. The stone has been rolled away in the spirit, the door is unlocked, the chains are cut, Staying in the tomb is the only thing still in your control. Will you keep agreeing with the voice of shame, or will you finally agree with the God who already called you by name? This is not pressure, this is invitation. Resurrection is not something that just happens to you. It is something you choose to walk in step by trembling step. The same heaven that allowed your breaking is the heaven now summoning your rising. The season is shifting. The air around your soul is changing texture. Where you once felt only static and silence, new frequencies are beginning to hum. You may even feel it now, a small, strange peace. A sense that the worst is somehow behind you, even if your circumstances haven't caught up yet. Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life." John 11:25. That means resurrection is not just an event in history, it is a person moving toward you, calling you forward. You didn't find this message, it found you. This is not motivational talk. This is a prophetic announcement. The 3 days are over. The grave clothes no longer fit you. The labels others placed on you will not survive this season. Your story is shifting from survival to assignment. You, chosen one. You are being summoned into a role larger than your personal happiness. Heaven is not only rescuing you, heaven is recruiting you. Think of Corrie ten Boom, who walked through the horror of a concentration camp yet emerged as a voice of forgiveness and healing to a shattered world. Her pain became a platform for mercy. Think of a quiet artist who spent years rejected, painting in a tiny room, until one day their work began to heal people simply by the way it carried light and honesty. Your story may not look like theirs, but the principle is the same. Your resurrection is not private. It is evidence. You are a living proof that God still pulls people out of graves, spiritual, emotional, relational, even financial, and sets them on paths they thought were forever closed. Those who once whispered it's over for them will be forced to reckon with the glow on your face when you step out. You, chosen one. Do you feel the gentle pressure of heaven on your shoulders nudging you to stand up inside? The season of only asking why me is ending. A new question is being written on your spirit. What now, Lord? Old cycles of running back to the same people, the same habits, the same hiding places are losing their power. The doors that led you into compromise are quietly rusting shut, while doors of alignment, authenticity, and assignment are swinging open. It may scare you, it should, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy chapter 1:7. That means the fear you feel is not your identity. It is just the last echo of the tomb trying to keep you from stepping into the light. Heaven is not asking you to be fearless. Heaven is asking you to be willing to rise wobbly, willing to speak with a shaky voice, willing to take the first step out of the grave and onto the path you were designed to walk. As this new season opens, your life will begin to look less like a random string of events and more like a carefully composed symphony. The shadows will still exist, but they will no longer define you. They will only make your light more visible. The wilderness behind you becomes wisdom within you. The heartbreak behind you becomes compassion flowing from you. The waiting behind you becomes weight, holy weight, authority, depth. You, chosen one, your resurrection is not loud and flashy. It is steady, certain, and deeply rooted. It is the quiet confidence that says, I am not who I was, and I will not go back to that grave. So I invite you now. Take a breath. Place a hand over your heart and notice what is stirring. What if this very moment is the doorway where your past loosens its grip and your future finally takes your hand? When you're ready, share your heart. Tell your story. In the comments, you can share the grave you felt trapped in, the waiting, the warfare, the secret tears, and if you sense this word touching something deep, share that too. Your honesty might be the key that unlocks another chosen one's prison. Your resurrection will never be just about you. It is a signal fire in the dark. As you rise, others will remember they can rise too. You, chosen one. Have you ever felt like you weren't born just to live a normal life? but as if there were an invisible pressure, a strange gravity always pulling your soul deeper than the people around you. From very early on, you could sense the fractures in your family, the strange repetitions in your bloodline, the same fears, the same patterns of breaking, the same limitations, as if a sad melody had been playing on repeat for generations, and now it's your turn to stand in the middle of that song. Deep inside, you've always felt that something is off, something no longer acceptable, as if your soul is whispering, "It ends here, from here on it must be different." You are not just someone suffering the consequences of what came before, you are the stop point, the dividing line. The border where the old patterns are forced to end. Maybe you're exhausted by the cycles, loving, then breaking, trying, then failing, trusting, then being betrayed, starting, and then ending up back at zero. Not only in relationships, but in finances, emotions, mental health, connections. You look around and see the same common denominator repeating from previous generations into yours. But there's one crucial difference: you're the one who no longer wants to accept it as fate. The thought, "Why does this keep happening?" is already the first sign that your soul is waking up into its new role. You, chosen one, your true identity is not the person stuck inside a spiral of failure, but the one chosen to break it. The emotional storms you've walked through, the long waiting seasons that felt like abandonment, the sleepless nights where you quietly asked yourself, "What's wrong with me?" None of these things are proof that you're inadequate. They are proof that you're standing on contested ground between two realities: on one side, the old inertia of your bloodline; on the other, an invitation to step into a completely new standard of living. You feel exhausted, not just because of your own issues, but because you're carrying unhealed weight from many generations. Much of what you're trying to break today didn't start with you, but it can end with you if you agree. That is why your soul is more sensitive, more pained, more restless. You are not just living for yourself, you are standing for those before you and those after you. You, chosen one. Maybe you've thought you were too weak because you get hurt, easily, feel deeply, think too much. But in truth, that sensitivity is your spiritual radar, allowing you to perceive what others have gone numb to. Where others say, "That's just normal," you can feel the distortion, the toxicity, the pain that's been disguised. Where others accept every family is like that. Something in you pushes back, as if a deep part of you is saying no. This is not all we were born to receive. That feeling of not fully belonging, of being out of place in your own environment, is proof you were placed there not to dissolve into it, but to change its atmosphere. You were not born to blend into the old, you were born to end it and open the new. You, a chosen one. The journey of breaking cycles is never gentle. It doesn't unfold under stage lights, but in closed rooms, in conversations you'll never repeat, in small decisions nobody praises. It's when you choose not to respond with a sharp, wounding word even though you easily could. It's when you choose silence over explosions that your whole family is used to. It's when you choose forgiveness even though your lineage has long practiced holding grudges. It's when you learn to manage money, to tend to your emotions, to take responsibility for your life instead of blaming like those before you. Each of those small choices is like you rewriting the source code of an entire system. No one may see it, but the internal reality is being reprogrammed. And because of that, the resistance becomes stronger, not only from the outside environment, but from within you. Old voices, old beliefs, old wounds constantly pulling you back to the familiar orbit. You, chosen one. There are moments you ask, why do I have to be the one to do this? Why do I have to be the one with the hardest role, the heaviest burden, the deepest loneliness? But at the deepest layer, you also know you're the only one awake enough to even hear that question. Those before you may have been too hurt to look directly at the truth, too tired to change, too afraid to choose a different path. You, however, even while trembling, can no longer return to what used to be. There is no way back. Once your soul opens its eyes to the truth, the old no longer fits you like clothes that are too tight, suffocating, hard to breathe in. You can force yourself to wear them for a while, but you can't stay in them forever. Your growth has pushed you out of the old size, and at the moment you realize you no longer fit where you were. But the new has not fully arrived. You step into that in-between territory, the 3-day zone, where you are no longer who you were, but not yet fully who you are becoming. That is the most intense, lonely, and sacred stretch of the journey. You, chosen one. There's a quiet but powerful truth every time you heal a wound inside you. You are healing it for many others who will never say your name. When you decide not to drag a toxic pattern into the future, whether it's your way of loving, the way you rage, how you treat money, or how you react under pressure, you are closing an old door for children who haven't even been born yet. They will never know there was once a person who stayed awake many nights wrestling to cut that cycle. But heaven knows, and your soul knows. Your bloodline will carry a new frequency, a new memory, the memory of someone who dared to stop, turn around, and walk another way. That is your hidden legacy. Invisible but never lost, you, chosen one, because you are the turning point. You will feel the tension of two worlds pulling on you. One world saying, just let it go, live like they did, it's easier that way, and another world saying, no, we need to confront this, heal this, rebuild the foundation from the ground up. Each time you choose to face it, your nervous system shakes. Your heart races, your mind protests, I'm so tired, why can't I just give up? But deep inside there is a still, steady, persistent part of you that keeps saying softly, keep going. That part knows you are not fighting only for today. You're standing at the intersection of past and future. Your hands touching both ends behind you. Are the things that have been ahead of you, are the things that can still be changed. Your yes today becomes a bridge for future yeses you will never hear spoken. You chosen one. No one truly understands why you feel such weight, because no one else carries the same level of assignment. Sometimes even you don't understand. You just find yourself always being the one who has to understand, has to yield, has to be the bigger person, has to forgive, has to get up one more time. But see it from another angle. You were entrusted with much, because something within you already has the capacity to hold more than most. Those capacities weren't given randomly. They were entrusted to you because you will need them to rebuild what has collapsed. You are not only called to escape chaos, you are called to build a new reality where what was once normal in your family, violence, silence, avoidance, scarcity, self-doubt, becomes a past that will not repeat. And that begins with different conversations, different choices, new boundaries, truths spoken even when your lips are shaking. You, chosen one, there are wounds that didn't start with your story, but they can end with your decision. Many of the fears inside you carry voices that aren't originally yours, but those of previous generations, transmitted through looks, casual remarks. Scenes of adults falling apart in front of children, then saying, "That's just life." You absorb those messages like air, but now as you begin to awaken, you start asking, does it really have to be this way? Am I truly unworthy? Is this really as far as I can go? Each question like that is a cut into the old roots. And every time you choose a new belief, that you are worthy of healthy love, worthy of safety, worthy of respect, you are planting a new tree on land that used to be barren. Time will answer for you. Those new trees will grow roots, branches, leaves, and cast shade for those who come after you. You, chosen one. This journey doesn't demand perfection. It asks for faithfulness. There will be days you fall, lose your temper, say things you regret, repeat old patterns you thought you'd outgrown. But even that is part of the process. Every time you notice, apologize, readjust, you drive another stake deeper into the new foundation of your life. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about whether you still accept the old way as the standard. When you start feeling uncomfortable with things you once called normal, that's a sign your soul has moved further. You can't convincingly pretend to live in the old space anymore. It's already too small. You have grown bigger than your fear. You, chosen one, you are rewriting the story of your entire bloodline, not through grand declarations, but through silent, repeated decisions. The decision not to give up, not to let trauma lead, not to let wounds speak in your place. You gradually learn to speak with the voice of inner truth, compassion, self-respect, and dignity. You learn to choose new environments, new thoughts, new rhythms of life that match the person you are becoming. And slowly, the old cycles can no longer find a place to attach to your life. They may knock at the door, but you are no longer the one who opens it for them. You keep. Chosen one day, someone in the future will breathe easier without knowing why. There will be souls who feel more at peace even at a young age without realizing that someone years before carried battles for them. That someone is you. They will not know your name or hear your full story, but they will live on the foundation you fought to change. That is the quietest gift, but also the most profound glory, knowing that your courage today is secretly making the future lighter, kinder, and brighter. And right now, as you read these words, perhaps somewhere inside you, a part of you is nodding. Yes, I know. Even tired, I still know I was chosen for this. Give that part more room. Let that voice grow louder than the voices of fear and exhaustion. Let the truth that you are the turning point of an entire bloodline become comfort, not just burden. Because you are not just carrying weight, you are creating way. And as you keep walking, little by little, trembling but not stopping, the whole universe inside and around you is adjusting to match the new frequency you are bringing. You, chosen one. If your soul is vibrating as you read this, know that you are not crazy, not too sensitive, not making everything a big deal. You are simply the first in your line, awake enough to recognize that it is time for everything to change, and that alone is proof that you truly have been chosen to break the old cycles and open the gate to a future that has never existed before. You, chosen one, as we come to the end of this word, remember this. You are not just another name in your family tree. You are the turning point, the one chosen to stand at the crossroads between what has always been and what will never be the same again. The weight you felt was never a sign of your weakness, but of your assignment. Every tear, every battle, every quiet decision to choose truth over trauma has been rewriting the story of your bloodline. You are not only carrying the end of old cycles, you are carrying the beginning of a new legacy. If this word resonated with your spirit, I invite you to partner with it in a simple but powerful way. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to remember they too can break cycles, and comment below what part of your story you feel is being rewritten right now. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next revelations prepared for you in this journey. And to those who support through super thanks, and to those who simply show up and watch in silence, thank you. Your presence here matters more than you know. I bless you with clarity, courage, and deep peace as you walk forward. May your steps be guided, your heart protected, and your legacy shine brighter than every shadow that ever tried to stop you.